to Future Prospects, guys. I am excited. You're going to say, my God, you keep saying that, because I'm always excited. I'm excited because I'm bringing to you a story from Orlando, Florida. This young man is going to inspire you. This young man is going to wake you up. This young man is going to tell you to never give up, like many of our stories, but this one is pretty special. I would like to introduce to you Jaden Chambers. Jaden, welcome to Future Prospects.
Thank you, Joy. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
You are so welcome, hon. We met in a very unique way through LinkedIn.
That's right.
And what captured me was what you had written and shared with the followers on LinkedIn. But I don't want to delve into that because that's a really great introductory leading into the segments. But I'd like you to introduce yourself to the viewers, who you are, and we'll continue the conversation from there.
All right, sure thing. Well, my name's Jaden, as you previously said. I attend the University of Central Florida in Orlando, and recently I got offered a position as a NASA Pathways intern at the Kennedy Space Center. And leading up to that, UCF has helped so much. I really owe all of that up to all the clubs that I was a part of and all the projects that I worked on there. And yeah, I guess that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Now, you are not born in Florida, right? You were born in, where were you born?
I was born in Florida. I was born in Wellington. Yeah, but my mom was born in Canada and my dad was born in America. Yeah.
All right. So when did you fall in love with what you're doing? When did you fall in love with it?
It really all started in elementary school. I was a part of this group called SecMe. Don't ask about the abbreviation because I really don't remember.
I was going to.
Yeah. So I was in that club for, I think, 4th and 5th grade. That's when it started. And in that club, it was like a science, engineering, math type thing. And we worked on many projects. Like we worked on mousetrap cars, bottle rockets, things like that. And after experiencing creating things and like seeing them actually function, I just really developed a passion for that. And since then, I've kind of been joining anything I can to kind of lead me to that path of engineering. And that's really what led me here today. So I really thank that club.
Awesome, hon. Now you're attending the Central University of Orlando, right?
Yeah, that is right.
Okay. All right. And what are you taking?
I'm doing mechanical engineering.
Okay. Now, did you always wanted to take that in a sense of when you were in your last, how would I say, years of university? And the reason why I'm talking this way, because a lot of young people who watch the show are either from grade 9 or going into university. But did you always knew that you wanted to take that? I know you've explained that, but was that something when you left high school and you went right into university? Were you right set on that, or did you change your mind along the way there, Jaden?
Well, it's actually interesting because I knew I wanted to do engineering. I just didn't know the type of engineering I wanted to do. Originally, I was going to go into aerospace engineering because I was like, wow, planes, rockets, all that stuff, quadcopters, really cool things. So I actually entered college as an aerospace engineer. And when I entered, I started joining aerospace clubs like AIAA, which is the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, where we worked on many various aerospace projects. So the way this club is structured, it's like one overarching division, I guess, and then it splits off into a bunch of other ones, including like quadcopter design, airplane design, hovercraft, like a whole bunch of cool little things you could do. And the ones that I was drawn to were the quadcopter and airplane design, because I thought, if I want to do aerospace, I should probably get involved in the aerospace, design division.
Right.
So I joined those, and I really, really enjoyed them. But I knew that there was something else that I would want to do. Like I knew that I wanted to kind of apply my knowledge to not just, I guess, things that could fly, but be able to apply them to the robotics field and things like that. So I eventually decided that I wanted to switch majors. So I switched from aerospace to mechanical, and that's what brought me here now.
Awesome. Oh my God, that is amazing, honey. That's why I say youth are going to love this because it shows them it's okay to stay on the path.
Mhm.
And as long as you're staying on the path, it's okay to change. There's nothing really, really wrong with it, right? With your internship at NASA,
Yeah.
in Pathways Intern, that's how I want to introduce stories because on on LinkedIn, you posted it, but what caught my eye was several things that you had said. And it really, really touched me because you said that the conversations leading up to it, like there's, if you don't mind me saying a couple of things, there was one thing that you were saying within our pre-interview is how people spoke to you. Now, within the conversations today, there is the conversations of Black, there's the conversations of racism. And I don't want to delve into the first thing, but that's how I met you. That's what attracted me to you, Jaden. It wasn't only that your accomplishment, but you posted it right there on LinkedIn. And there was ones that you said, which sports do you like? Which sports do you play? And you put that right into the LinkedIn. Now, why did you want that to be part of your message celebrating your internship at NASA?
Because I know there's a lot of people that were put into the same box that I was. Like I guess from middle school to high school, I was I guess I acted different than most people perceive me to act, because the stereotypes going around, when I would speak, people would say, wow, you actually speak pretty proper, things like that. The way I act, they would say, oh, like, why do you act so white? Like, what does white even act like?
Right.
They would describe white as like professional, not describe, but imply white as being professional, when Black for some reason had to only do sports or had to only do, just other things that aren't in the STEM field.
Right.
So yeah, just being put in that box is something that I know a lot of people have experienced because, for example, like even my roommates have experienced the same thing. They were always called Oreos, which is basically white on the inside, Black on the outside, because of the way they acted alone. And today, they're some of the most successful people I know.
Wow.
They're all doing great things because we all were able to break away from that box and ignore the things that people were trying to limit us to.
I
So
understand.
that's the message I was trying to get across. And I'm glad I did because now people are reaching out to me saying how it really inspired them and they're going to push through and try to still achieve their dreams, regardless of what people say to them.
Wow. It touches me, I've done many, many shows here on Rogers Television with that type of conversation, and it needs to continue. And I pray to God one day it stops, Jaden, because you are the future, as well as many other young people out there. But when you boldly said that, and I just want to touch upon something because it's a good conversation, is that you talk white. So now, how is the difference between a white and a young Black man supposed to talk? Like, what is the difference? If you can define that for me as being a successful young Black gentleman on Future Prospects.
Well, I talk the same as I did in high school. The only difference is now I've actually accomplished things, you know?
Right.
And now I haven't heard that in a while because I guess I've been in a professional setting, but I know a lot of people growing up have sadly had to deal with that. And I just want them to know if like anyone who's dealing with that is watching, it you do not have to limit yourself to what people say you are, like you don't have to limit yourself to stereotypes and you don't have to stay inside of the box that people try to put you in. I just say, keep pursuing your dreams, no matter what the cost is, for sure.
Do you think a lot of young people are struggling with it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was in school, there was a lot of like, I would sort of gravitate towards similar people. So I met a lot of people that were put in that same box. Like, for example, the roommates that I mentioned, and we just all pushed through it. At the time, it was kind of annoying because people would always call us names like Oreo and stuff like that. But we just all moved past it. And because of that, we were able to succeed.
But can I interject for a second? When
Yeah.
you say push through it,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to share that with the viewers because they're currently dealing with it right now. So we're working on it. The conversation is evolving as we speak. But how did you push through it?
How did I push through? I would honestly just remember the goal I had in mind, which would be become a successful mechanical engineer and one day be able to work in the robotics field, you know, and be able to put things on the moon, stuff like that. And once I
Wow.
remembered that, I just knew that I had, like, in order to get there, I had to keep moving. And if I would have just stopped and said, you know what, you're right, I am a stereotype, I'm going to go do what stereotypes do. No, you got to realize, you know, that you have goals and I have goals. And to achieve them, I need to keep moving forward. So really, I would just kind of block them out, ignore them, keep hanging out with the same people I do, regardless of what others say. And by following that path, I was able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish.
Wow. I'm just watching the clock here. So my phone, if my hand reaches over because I'm touching the computer, for this remote filming right now. So that's what I'm doing, hon. Just to share with you really, really fast, when I do this, that we have to go to break. How did you feel when you learned that you got the internship at NASA? How did you feel?
Oh, yeah, it felt like I was in a dream. I was ecstatic. I was actually just finished taking a math exam and I was feeling like really frustrated and discouraged. And then I checked my email and I saw the notification from Kennedy Space Center and I was like, what is this? I opened it and it was my acceptance letter and I was so excited. I had to call my parents right away, told my roommates, we had to celebrate, of course, but I can't express how happy I am to have gotten that opportunity.
So how was it, just one internship or was it several others?
It was one internship. Yeah.
How many? I can't even talk right now. Out of how many people were you chosen?
Oh, out of how many people?
Yes.
I believe I don't. It was in the thousands, and I know. No, so there was thousands of applicants, and then only 35, 36 were chosen.
Wow. You got to do this, man. Come on. You got to do this. Come on, do it. Do it for me. Do it for me. That is phenomenal, honey. We got to go to break, handsome. We're going to come back with Jaden Chambers, guys. Phenomenal, sweetheart. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Future Prospects with Jaden Chambers, all the way from Orlando, Florida. That was a phenomenal first segment, honey. Amazing and touching to my heart on some things that you've dealt with, overcome, but people are still dealing with it. That's why the message is so strong. I don't want to take away from your story. Now you're at NASA, right? Now you are doing your internship. What has that been like? And we're going to talk more about hanging in there and stuff. How has it been like? It's not a walk in the park, but you've achieved a goal that you've wanted. How has that been like there, Jaden?
It has really been an amazing experience. I've never been in a work environment with so many like kind-hearted, genuine individuals. Everyone there, they're always looking out for you. If you ever have like any issues, you can just talk to them about it. We're all very open. And the workload is, you know, of course it's difficult, but I just kind of just push through it, you know, because this is really just the beginning because I'm just starting my career process. So I gotta start from here, kind of work up and sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
That's okay. That's okay. You're doing great.
Thank you. But yeah, it's just been a really, really great experience. And the work's very interesting. I've been learning a lot. And it's just, didn't realize how many cool things are going on in NASA just constantly. For example, recently, Perseverance rover landed on Mars. Not sure if you heard about that, but that was...
Yes, I did. My husband put me in front of the television to watch it. So no, I do know.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was a huge progression. The I didn't realize how many rocket launches were happening constantly. Like for some reason, I thought rocket launches were very like rare, only happened every now and then. But there's so many like different divisions at the Kennedy Space Center with so many different launch complexes that are just constantly launching like once a week, and it's crazy. And
Wow.
being able to go on center and see the rocket launches closer than most people can is an amazing experience for sure.
Awesome. How do you balance the two? Like you're doing school as well as your internship, right?
Yeah.
So now you're doing, it's like internship is like work because that's where you want to be, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you balance that? Because that's a question that I really want to ask. That's a
Oh
pretty
yeah,
heavy internship. So how do you balance it? You've got
it
this, you've
is.
got midterms, and you got to do your internship and you're working. Like,
Yeah, let me just tell you, full-time work and full-time school is not easy at all. Um,
oh,
Mostly I do work Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5. And then I have classes Tuesday and Thursday. And I kind of like packed my classes into Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll have Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work to get my homework done and get my studying done. And then I still have the weekend, of course. Um, the times when I'm really stressed out is when an exam or midterm is coming up, because
mm,
then I have absolutely no free time because I'll be studying the whole week and the whole weekend and then jump into a test. But
wow.
other than that, I've been making it work. I've been able to still have a social life and still hang out with people I care about. So don't think if you get into this field and stay in this field, you won't have any time whatsoever. It is hard and it's a lot of work, but if you pace yourself and kind of balance your schedule, then you'll be able to do it. I promise you. So.
Awesome, hon. Who keeps you on track? When you get literally frustrated sometimes, like you said, it's a lot, and you've got a gorgeous smile, everybody's looking, my God, he's accomplished so much, but how do you keep that mental stability on your A game? How do you keep that going?
I gotta say, having roommates that I'm all really close to has been a really big help because whenever I'm stressed, I could just walk out into the living room and they'll be there and I could just talk to them and just kind of vent to them, hear about their day, everything. And of course, my parents are always there to listen whenever I need to talk to someone. If an exam didn't go well or if I have a lot of stuff on my mind, I just call them up and they're always there for me.
That
So
is awesome, hon. What's your outlet? What's your
my
outlet?
outlet.
Like, what do you do? Yeah, what's your outlet? Like, is it
Oh,
sports? Is it do you work out? Like, what is it that you do? Like, you've got a heavy schedule, like many students, but we're talking about Jaden Chambers here right now. Okay, what is your outlet that you go to that just go?
so mostly I hang out with my friends, and that's definitely a good compressor. Besides that, I play piano a lot, actually. I have my piano here. So whenever
Oh,
I'm
your
stressed,
piano?
yeah, I'm a piano player.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes I just go in the living room and then I just kind of play a couple songs. I'm like, okay, that was my break. And I just get back to work.
God, awesome, hon. You're a high achiever. And there's a lot of young people who will look at you and go, my God. But through our actual interview, our pre interview, you said that you work very hard. Um, can you elaborate on that? On people want great things, but are they willing to put in the work? So if you can break it down for me, for youth
Oh, yeah.
who are looking at their education, if it be whatever, what did it take for you to accomplish where you are and never to give up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would really say, okay, so if you just stay and don't do anything, like if you sit and be like, okay, I want to achieve this goal and don't do anything about it, nothing's going to happen. The
Right.
thing I did, I got as involved as I could the second I entered college. And that not only helps with networking, but it helps with your own knowledge of the field and your own research. Like I was saying, I joined many different engineering clubs, like AIAA, and I got super involved with all the like different projects they were doing. And through that, I learned how to do CAD design, which is computer automated design. I learned how to work in big groups of engineers to accomplish the same goal. And of course, like I met a lot of people. So I would definitely say to get very, very involved to get where you need to go. And just really do what you can and make sure you like, of course, focus on schoolwork. But if you just do schoolwork alone, I really don't think you will reach your full potential. You got to have that balance. Sorry, would you like to?
No, keep going, keep going.
You gotta have that balance of schoolwork, and you have got to have that balance of course, social life. Because when you graduate, everyone is like everyone who graduates with you took the same course you did. Like everyone that's in your major, for example, other mechanical engineers, all did the same thing. So what makes you stand out? It's not the work you did, like it's not just the schoolwork, it's what you did in between. So by getting involved and experiencing a whole bunch of different things that other people weren't able to, it shows that you are dedicated and you have that open mind and that open mindset to trying new things. And by getting all those experiences, you will definitely stand out.
The reason why I'm smiling from ear to ear and I'm holding my hand is because, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. When you go to university, go to post-secondary, you get in there. The conversation that youth has always said on future prospects is that they feel like they've been set up for failure. When they go to school, you do your work. When you go to post-secondary, you do your work. But I'm listening to you now, as well as many students like yourself, that have succeeded because they've aligned what they've learned with work and internships, or keep the application, keep the bio strong. So do you feel that something like that the universities or post-secondary in general can look at and make more stronger, the networking factor, internships more available for use?
Sorry, could you repeat that last part?
I know, I was pretty long. I'm British, I talk long. What I'm saying is, what you said there is powerful, because what you did, you attended school. But within school, you didn't just rely upon the studying, you aligned it with what you want to go into. Mm-hmm. So looking at the colleges and universities on a whole, do you feel that's something that they can do better?
I actually think they did an amazing job.
Okay.
Yeah, I think UCF especially has an amazing job of providing so many different outlets for students. There's so many different clubs and opportunities and activities that people could join. If it wasn't for that, like if it wasn't for having all these clubs set out and like tabling events and all that stuff, I would have just done schoolwork, I wouldn't have gotten involved or anything. But by them pushing students to attend tabling events, and the professors kind of pushing students to get involved in all that stuff, it really, really helped, because it really gave me the experience I needed to accomplish my goal.
Awesome, hon. Thank you for saying that. That's so powerful. It really is, because I hear it all the time from youth that come on the show, and even through my own mentoring that I'm doing. You quoted a quote that we're going to show at the end of the show: failure is a success in progress. How have you dealt with failure? Because it wasn't just a walk in the park. You went to school, woo-hoo, you got a letter. Like, how did you deal with that?
Well, I gotta say the biggest eye opener for me was when I was first going from end of high school to college. We needed to take a math placement test to get in like the engineering field, and I failed it like really, really bad. Got a really, really low score. So I was devastated, because I thought to myself, how can I become an engineer if I just failed this basic exam, like to get on the path to become an engineer, And I found out that apparently you could do 2 attempts on the exam and you could still get in the field. So I told myself, there's no way I'm going to fail this exam a second time, because if I do, then that dream is kind of, gone. I'd have to start like really early. So I just really, really, I studied really, really hard for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to prepare for this math placement test. And I retaught myself like all the math courses leading up to calc. And by doing that, I did really well on the math placement test. And by doing really well, I was able to start in a good math class.
Okay.
And yeah, but so what I'm trying to say is even though like I experienced that failure of not even passing the first math placement test, it's not the end of the world
Right.
because if you're motivated and if you're determined to get where you need to be, then you'll get there. Like I feel like passionate people are the ones that succeed the most for sure.
Okay. Back up here for a second because I'm going to get, I don't know, I'm going to even write a t-shirt with it that Rogers TV Future Prospect. Passion. Why is passion so important? You cannot drive a car without gas. Tell me why.
Yeah, because if you need passion to be able, like, I feel like you need passion to be able to fully enjoy life to like the full extent. Like, I feel like that's the honest truth. If
Mm-hmm.
you're just doing things just to do it, or just because your parents tell you to do it, then why are you doing it if you don't really enjoy it, you know? So I really feel like by having passion and by looking forward to something that's going to happen later in your life, you're able to put all of your focus towards it, you know, and you're able to actually put in the work that's required to get you there. So I feel like it's vital.
You're amazing, Jaden. I'm enjoying this. You are amazing. We'll be right back, guys, with Jaden Chambers. Stay tuned. Welcome back with Jaden Chambers. Jaden, phenomenal. That's all I can say. I love all my guests, but every single one of them I say this to because you are the future. Amazing, amazing. You've talked about your life. You've talked about hanging in there, the failures, receiving your letter on your internship there at NASA. I want to touch upon when I listen to you, you talk with passion and heart. Your family support. I'm going to touch upon that. How has your family been throughout your whole journey and continue to? How are they?
My whole life, they've always been the most supportive people. Whenever I had any problems whatsoever, I talked to them about it. And instead of, you know, like if I, for example, would do something that they wouldn't agree with,
Right.
uh, instead of kind of scorning me for it or like yelling or being really angry about it, they would kind of just talk to me about it. And by doing that, we had a lot of trust in each other. Um, so I would always, you know, tell them pretty much everything, and they'd kind of just guide me without kind of being the ones to delegate what I need to do. Like they didn't tell me to join engineering. They didn't tell me to go to college or anything. It's just kind of something I realized that I wanted to do on my own. And they just help support me on that path. They've always been really, really supportive.
So they weren't, I'm going to stereotype somebody for some parents for a second here, in a fun way. But
Yeah.
parents will sit down their children, finish grade 12 or going into grade 12, and they'll say, well, this is what you need to do. You need to attend university or college. But your parents didn't do that.
No, they never did. Yeah, they just kind of listened to me, you know? I feel like the more someone tells you to do something, the more you don't want to do it because you are kind of your own person. You know, you like to have that free will. So by them just letting me figure things out on my own, I was able to realize that that's something I personally really wanted to do. And because I personally really wanted to do it, I was motivated to do it, you know?
Wow. What makes you so motivated? Like were you like that since the day you were born? What makes you so motivated and so focused? Why? Why is it that you want to be so? Go ahead.
Sorry? No, you can go ahead.
Why is okay. Why is it that you want to be so successful? Why is it you are? Because this is great. Because I believe every young person should reach for their dreams. and should not limit themselves. But why? Why, Jaden?
It's really just because I enjoy it. Like I enjoy engineering and I enjoy socializing and meeting people, you know. Um, and by since I enjoy my job, you've probably heard it many times before, but it really doesn't feel like a job because if it's something you really, really like doing, then it's just
Right.
It's, you know, and especially if you're getting paid for it, like I really feel like that's the dream. But yeah, what motivates me just being able to do what I really like to do and
Right.
being able to figure out what I want to do and be able to do that for my like the rest of my life, you know, and kind of build up to that point at the same time. So I really look forward to like the day where I could just, you know, hopefully put something on the moon, like I mentioned before.
That's
And
okay.
yeah, so just having that dream in mind, that's what motivates me.
Okay, let's dream here for a second. You're at NASA, right? You're doing your dream, your hand in there. And I can't talk engineering here, so I've got to watch my wording here. Um, what what do you dream about when you're there and you're creating and working there? Like, my God, like I went there years ago to Austin and I was there at NASA and I was like, oh my God, the NASA station there. But what do you dream about? That's what I'm going for. When you said on the moon someday, like what is your end game here?
I guess I really just dream about making an impact, you know, and by being in NASA and being able to work with teams that are able to do things like that, you know, and work in the same organization, I really feel like it's the best feeling in the world, you know. Um, yeah, it's just I'm just very lucky.
Well, I'm digging deeper here. I'm digging deeper. You're going to school, you're in NASA, you're doing what you want to do. And there's some young person out there that's going to look and say, oh my God, he's in NASA. So when you go in there, what is it that you're creating? Like, what is it that you're actually doing? What are you getting your hands into?
So for me, I'm currently in the construction of facilities branch. So I'm dealing with all the facilities in the Kennedy Space Center, including the vehicle assembly building, which is the building that they build rockets in.
Right.
And as I'm doing that, you know, I get to see. Well, sorry, let me keep talking what I do. So
Okay.
I work in the HVAC systems, like anything in the facilities, HVAC, like the piping, chill water systems, all of that stuff is the stuff that we get to look at. And of course, I really enjoy doing it, you know, or else I wouldn't still be doing it. But like I said, I really do look forward to being able to experience different fields as well, you know, because I've found a passion for programming while I was in high school. And with the field I'm currently in, I would not be able to apply much of that programming knowledge, you know, but I do dream to be able to apply that knowledge in a NASA field. And I'm stuttering a lot.
No,
But
no, no.
yeah.
That's okay. You're a student. You stay up late. You're doing a TV show. So it's all good. If anybody's listening and they're going to be watching it, go, I can relate. But continue. Continue.
But yeah, I really, really want to make an impact and I really want to be able to uh, contribute to the space industry. And even though like I am doing that right now because they would not be able to go up to space without these facilities running, I do want to get hands-on in robotics, you know? And so I'm kind of hoping after this internship and everything, I would be able to experience that as well.
Awesome. When I picked up your story from LinkedIn, I noticed there was a couple of other ladies that got internships with NASA. How has it been there? Is it mostly men? Women are going to go, hey, hey, hey. But is it mostly men or is it a balance of women and men within your field?
I think it is a great balance. Like, I really feel like NASA does a really, really good job diversifying their community. And I've met so many different types of people, like by meeting all the different interns. I've also been able to hang out with them a lot. They're all really, really amazing, genuine people. And yeah, they just did a great job getting people from all parts of the world working there. And believe it or not, there's not many people from, I guess, like the Orlando area that live there. A lot of people are out of state, so they're coming from all over just to work at the Kennedy Space Center. And I think it's a really cool thing to see.
Great. Where are they coming from? Like, where are all these interns coming from?
I know some from California, North Carolina, Ohio, like they're coming from everywhere. A lot of them are doing telework, but some of them actually moved down to the Titusville area so they could be local. So.
Okay. Do you keep in touch with any of your high school teachers or principal or anything like that?
No, I do not with the teachers or principal, but I do keep in touch with a lot of high school friends. Like, for example, my roommate is one of my closest friends from high school.
Okay. Who was the teacher through your whole entire journey? And your journey is continuing as we speak because you're still young and going, but who stood out to you the most within your academic at the beginning, like your high school? Who was the one that was always there for you, that always said, you can do this, do this? Who was always the stretch to you that made you know that you can do better, do more?
That's a hard question, but I gotta say, my teacher, Mr. Shear, in my freshman year, and he stood out because he kind of treated us like we were in a college course, as freshmen in high school. And it was like the wildest thing because he would not have us he would not force us to do homework. Like homework wasn't a grade. He would say you need to do, he wouldn't say you need to, but he would imply that to succeed, you need to put in the work on your own time, and so our only grades were exams. He did not grade the homework. Like there weren't like quizzes or anything. It was just exams, which was wild. And at first I was like, what? Like, that's not fair because this is all of our grade. But it really made me realize that to succeed, you kind of need to not just do things because you're told to. You got to do things because you need to do it or because you want to do it, So because of that, a lot of people in the class just began studying on their own, even though they weren't forced to study or forced to do homework. They would do it anyways because they know that's what they need to do to succeed. So it was a really weird way of teaching, but I guess in a sense it worked.
So you would do work, just keep going through, and then do your exams. That was it. So he didn't give you any homework. You just kept working, and then you did an exam.
Yep. And of course he would teach us and everything, and we'd have lectures and all that stuff. But yeah, there was just no graded homework or anything. He would suggest problems and all that stuff, but he wouldn't grade it, which is wild.
Oh my, and it worked.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird, but it worked, believe it or not.
No, so he was a real good communicator.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was a great teacher and very, he's the most passionate teacher I have met. He was very loud, but in a good way,
In a good way. So back to communication. How important is communication? You're talking to the youth here now. How important is communication?
Communication, in terms of learning
life in general, speaking about yourself, selling yourself, talking. It's one thing to know it, but how do you communicate it out to attract what you need?
Oh yeah, communication I feel is one of the most important things that people should know. Because like I was saying before, everyone that's in your major goes through the same thing you do, but not everyone is able to communicate their ideas. I really feel like what makes you stand out a lot as well is being able to communicate your ideas to people that are in the same field as you or people that aren't in the same field as you and need some elaboration, especially as engineers, because you'll be working in groups a lot. So yeah, communication, I really feel like it's one of the most important things for someone to know.
Awesome. I'm going to come back and I'm going to elaborate on that more. I just looked down at my notes. There's something I need to ask you. All right. So we'll be right back. But great job, by the way. We'll be right back, guys, with Jaden Chambers. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Future Prospects with Jaden Chambers. Jaden, we were talking off camera. You were having a really, just sharing about all the fascinations with Mars and this space in general, like NASA in general, right? It was really touching how the way you see the magical side of it. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not in the field, but when you look at it, what mesmerized you the most? What mesmerized you when you think about it?
It just reminds me how lucky I am to be alive in this time, because it's just insane what we have been accomplishing, like what people have been accomplishing. We were actually just talking about the Perseverance rover and also the helicopter that they were able to put and fly on Mars, which is insane. Like and the fact that they can get clear pictures of Mars so we can actually see what the planet looks like. I think it's just the craziest thing, because years ago we never would have imagined that we'd be able to achieve this so soon. I just think it's, like you said, I guess the only word I could use is magical. Actually being able to see it is what's magical.
Wow. Okay. I just had to ask you that because you had a really, really great conversation there with Ron. And I was just listening to you both and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of getting into it. But I had to bring that to air, hon. You left on, this is the last segment. You left on segment 3 and you were talking about communication. Youth love to do things, but they have a hard time communicating. So aligning yourself up with how you sell yourself. How did you sell yourself over to different things within your field to succeed in where you are today? How did you sell yourself? What did you do?
I just acted like myself, if I'm being completely honest, by going through, I guess, elementary up to high school, it just kind of shapes you, and the people you hang out with really shape you as well.
Okay, who did you hang out with? Who did you hang out with?
People that not knew what they wanted to do, but were kind of driven, like knew they had a goal. Because not everyone knows exactly what they want to do, of course, in like middle school and stuff like that. But just people that knew they had to do their work and they had to set themselves up to succeed. Those are the type of people that I hung out with.
Okay. All right, my love. 20 years old and you've achieved so much. Balance is important. School is important. Everything is important in life. Do you think, how would I say this now? Just asking a question. When you look at your mentors, who's your mentors in your life?
I would definitely say my best friend, who is also my roommate. His name is Jalen Brown, and he has always been doing really amazing things, like ever since high school. And by seeing him succeed in everything he's doing, it really pushes me to succeed as well and get involved. So I would definitely say he's been a huge impact on that. And of course, my parents also doing really great things and always being there to support me.
What does your parents do? What does your parents do, Jay?
So my mom is a teacher and my dad works with computers. So I'd always bond with my dad over like tech stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then hearing like my mom's stories and everything are always really cool as well. But it's just, yeah, they've just always been the ones to push me, and they do what they enjoy. And by them doing what they enjoy, it makes me like realize, hey, I want to get to a point where I could do what I enjoy too. So
you've got a real solid ground there that you were raised on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. A couple of things I never asked you, just running through my head. COVID. What's COVID like in Orlando right now?
Well, I feel like it's kind of like everywhere else, everyone's wearing masks. At UCF, it's a lot emptier than it used to be. There's, of course, like everyone wearing masks and everything, but they're doing a really good job of keeping the campus clean. They have incorporated so many different safety measures to make sure, to mitigate as much potential for COVID as possible. But yeah, it's just so weird because just last year, campus was booming. There were so many people constantly everywhere. And then all of a sudden, poof, it's just like a
Right.
third or like a fourth of the people that used to be there. It's
That's
very.
right. So now you think of it, this is 1 year today, I think. 1 year today that the whole world was like,
oh, was it? Wow.
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it's in Canada. I could be wrong, but I know it was March 2020.
Yeah, it was March,
everybody was just like, oh my gosh, what do you do? Like this thing has gone haywire. How has online been for you?
So at first it was a little bit weird, and it's definitely been a lot harder to focus because when you're present in like a class setting, like in person, you're the only thing to like really pay attention to is, like the professor and everything. But when it's like online and everything, when people are just on like a little screen, it's just so easy to get distracted. So a lot of the times when I need to like study or something, I kind of leave my room and I put on a mask, of course, go to the library and kind of do my own thing. But I've kind of gotten used to it. It also is harder because you're not able to socialize with people in person. You have to do it through a screen. But somehow I've still been able to meet people through the screen. And yeah, so I know a lot of people have had it really rough, but I hope everyone's making it work to the best of their ability.
That's right. Do you go out at all, though? Like, do you go out, like, to keep your distance anyway, just to kind of have a change of scenery?
Oh, yeah. So, of course, I'm safe about it. Sometimes we just go get food or something, walk around campus a little bit, but nothing crazy. Like, there's people that are, like, partying and stuff like that. And I just think it's such a terrible idea and a terrible thing to do in times like this. It's just selfish.
From your point of view, you say selfish. Talk to the viewers for a second, because we're still, even though the vaccines are rolling out, right? We're getting there. But from your point of view as a young person, you see all these young people partying. Can you elaborate on that? Speaking to them?
Yeah, it's just very selfish, to be honest, because a lot of the people, like their mindset is, it's, if I get it, so what? Like, it's not going to affect me too bad. But that's not the mindset you should have. It should be about other people, because not everyone is the same as you. And while you might be okay, a lot of people can be very, very damaged by it. And I know it's happened to so many people. And my heart goes out to anyone who's lost their family members due to COVID. It's a terrible thing. So I just really hope that people are able to realize that and kind of just not think about themselves and think about the other people that they're impacting in the process, for sure.
That's right. That's so true, huh? So true. When you look at the future on a whole, you look at the world in a way, you're young, right? So I remember I had a guest on long time ago when Future Prospects was in the studio, and hopefully returning back there soon, is that she says, as young people, they want us to take on the whole burdens of the world. But when you look at COVID-19, because you're living in historical times, Sean, this is history in the making right now. You're part of it, right? And you look at all the barriers and the racial issues and the challenges. Just like 2020 was incredible. It was just like the whole world just went, hello. Do you have hope in the future as a young person, Jaden? Are you positive? How do you feel about the future in a whole as a young person today?
Well, I'm very hopeful. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of really cool stuff that's going on. Even though, on the news and everything, there's a lot of, they kind of shine light on COVID and they show a lot of negatives, but there's also a lot of positives going on as well. So I don't want people to kind of let the negatives overshadow the positives and then feel like they have they're living a really bad life. I want them to understand that there are a lot of really nice things going on and a lot of really good things are yet to come.
You got it. What do you love about yourself there, Henson? When you look in the mirror, I'll ask everybody this, but it's such an important question because the last guest just says, if there's one thing I'm going to remember after this, is this question. What is it when you look in the mirror? What do you love about yourself? What are your features that you love?
My features?
Features, your looks, your personality. What do you love about yourself, Jaden? Like, I know me, it's my smile, but what is it with you?
Well, I guess some things the people have personally said about me is I'm kind of like an anchor that draws people in and keeps people together. Like whenever I'm in groups or anything, they say I'm the one that brings all these different people in for them to meet each
Oh,
other and keeps the group intact. So I guess that's something I do like because I'm, I guess, approachable and easy to talk to. And because of that, I'm able to meet a bunch of really, really nice people. So,
okay. So if there's a party going on, are you the arranger or do you just get invited? Like you're the one that's, hey man, I got this idea going. I'm the one, like you're the go-getter.
well, let's hope a party's not going on right now.
No, no, no,
But
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
I know
Sorry,
what you
folks.
mean.
When COVID is done, when
Yeah,
COVID
of
is done,
course.
even
But
before.
I've always been the arranger. I'm always here. Like I'm always the one that's inviting everyone and getting everyone together to do things. But yeah, I enjoy doing it because I love bringing people together and being able to see their expressions when they like enjoy meeting other people as well. So I don't mind
I
it.
didn't
Like I'm
ask.
always the host.
Okay, all right. I didn't ask you this, honey, because I got so involved with with NASA and everything that you've done and accomplished and still going. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have two. So my older brother is in the University of Florida, and then my younger brother's in high school.
Awesome, and you keep in touch, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have a group
That
chat
is
and everything.
that is awesome, honey. I want you to leave with me your thoughts to you. If we've only got a minute left, and when I do this, that means we have to go. I don't want to take away from it really, really fast. Leave a message. What would you say to youth right now, from Jaden Chambers talking to the screen?
I would definitely say do not let people put you in a box. And if you if you're experiencing that, like experiencing being put into a box or being told what you can accomplish, just know it's not true because only you can know what you can accomplish or what you will accomplish, you know. Just have that goal in mind and do what you need to accomplish that goal because I promise you it will be worth it in the end.
Wow. I want to thank you from my heart, hon. Send some sunshine our way, please. From Orlando, okay? But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, okay, sweetheart?
Of course. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome, hon. Give me the heart. Give me the heart. Everybody gotta do
There
the
you
heart.
are.
Okay. Bye,
Oh, that
sweetheart.
heart. There we go.
There you go. Bye, Jaden. Thank you.
I'm Mother Earth, giver of life. I'm Mother Earth, love.